back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. It's your girl Dana and I am fresh from Austin. So I got in last night. It was like a 27-hour travel time. Only because whenever you come into Japan, you have to take an arrival Rona test and the results take about 2 hours. So what I did was I bought my ticket here to Austin, and from Austin to Tokyo. Then I bought a separate ticket, Tokyo to Okinawa, basically to cover any, as far as getting test results back, if the results took a little bit longer. So, you know, I took the latest flight out instead of booking everything together. And that's why my travel time was longer. But for the most part, yeah, smooth ride there and back. I slept most of the way. And the fact that it is 3:30 right now, I'm hoping to slip right on back into my normal routine because that jet lag was that was a beast. You guys are not here for me to talk about my jet lag. You guys are here to hear about the meet. As you know, if you didn't know, I won my weight class at Powerlifting America National. So PA Nats happened over the weekend. I competed on Sunday. I got first in my weight class. I hit a couple PRs. Very, very excited about it. I'm going to tell you what happened and then I'm going to play the video. I get there, I weigh in, and I'm underweight. I'm like 73.6 kilos or 162 pounds. My goal was to be as close to 167 as possible, and I definitely overshot that. So I met my handler after check-in. So my handler was Mike T. He is actually the owner of Reactive Training Systems, which is who my coach works for. So my coach is Ross. He works for Mike. My coach couldn't make it. Normally he handles me, but that's fine because Mike did. Mike and John was the assistant handler. Both very, very good guys. I really enjoyed my time with them. I'm just interacting with them as an athlete, and then after the meet was done, we still had time and we still spoke to each other, and yeah, it was a good time. So I met with them. I told them, you know, how I like to be handled as an athlete. Not a lot of hype, not a lot of fanfare. Just kind of sort of leave me alone in the corner and just let me know when it's time to go and I'll be okay. So we're doing warm-ups for squats. And squats, you know, preface this, training all year has not been the best. But for the past few weeks, it's kind of sort of been picking back up. So I'm more along the lines of where I was at, like baseline before. I'm not doing anything too crazy. So start warming up for squats. Squats felt like as expected. I go out there and do my first, second, and third squat. Based on how squats have felt during training, I really wasn't expecting to make anything past my first squat. So I went 3 for 3 in squat, which caught me off guard. So that's amazing. Then we start warming up for bench. Y'all know, follow me on Instagram, follow me on here. You know, bench is not my lift. I mean, I talk big stuff. I say, you know, I'm a bench specialist. You know, I got a big bench. It's all sarcasm, but so it's not my favorite lift, but it's necessary, and you can lose a lot of ground on bench. You can have a huge squat, a tiny bench, and a huge deadlift, and you can still lose because a lot of ground can be covered on bench. We were warming up for bench, and it felt good. You know, even though training hasn't been the best this year, bench has more or less remained consistent. So I worked on my bench. Did my accessories. I didn't overshoot my RPE, and I was hitting 225 a lot of times in training, which for me is excellent. So I know that these girls are hitting almost 3, but for me to hit 225 consistently, semi-consistently in training was a big deal. Is a big deal. So I went out there, did my first one. It went all right. I'm like, it felt a little heavy, so we just went up. I think we went up like 2.5. Let me look this stuff up instead of trying to guess. So we went up, we started off at 90, which is, I'm trying to think of it, 198. It was 198 pounds. And then we went up to 209 pounds. Mike gave me some tips earlier, just like always. I always need a tip in bench. And so my next one, it felt, even though it was heavy, it felt better technique-wise than the second one. What I really hope is that I can have a better bench. So I feel like I have a decent squat. I want to have a better bench so that I won't have to rely so heavily on deadlift to pull me through for a win or for a placing. You know, I want to be, you know, within that target range the entire time. And then if I need to, it's like, okay, well, load up whatever on the bar and pull it. That's what I want to be able to do with my deadlift. I don't want it to be like, well, you know, she has a crappy bench, but you know, her deadlift is big, and you know, she's got to pull 600, you know, to place third. Like, I don't want it to be like that. That's not how I want it to be. So definitely taking the cues away that he gave me, that my coach is giving me. Now everything with what he's saying is starting to click together, and I feel like I'll have a better bench next time. So my goal for next meet will be to PR on bench, and that'll be, I believe, the next step up, 2.5 kilos more than 100 kilos. So if I can pull out 100 kilos or 220 pounds during a competition, I'll be so happy. So I don't know what else to say about that. Like, it's like the best meet so far. It feels like it's the best meet that I've had, and still got deadlifts to go. So going back to training this year, I've only pulled over 500 a handful of times, but what I think really helped me out was remaining consistent in my training, showing up, doing what I can, and not trying to overshoot, you know, my RPE, even though I feel like that's what got me to that situation. So I think I would pull, the last on IG from training was I pulled like 475 pounds, and that felt so heavy. I was nervous about going into the meet. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to pull 5. I go from deadlifting 535 for reps to not even pulling 500. So like, I was feeling some type of, you know, we're at the meet, gonna get through it, warming up and back for deadlifts, and I think my final warm up was 435 pounds. And I looked at John and I'm like, John, that moves slow. Recording, I looked at the video and I'm like, oh, it moved like a warm up. Like, it moved how it was supposed to move. And so I get out there and my first attempt is 474. I pull that. He's excited. He's like, all right, well, what do you want for your second? And I'm like, you know, at this point, it's whatever. You know, I'm feeling good. You know, that broke the ground faster than I thought it was going to. Just, Mike, I trust you. Just put whatever on there. All right, so what's up? Editing Dana here, and I just wanted to clarify what I meant by put whatever on the bar. No, we're not out here just picking attempts all willy-nilly, pulling numbers out the air. There is a method to the madness. So Mike has, or whatever handler I have, they have an attempt selection sheet, and what their job is to look at me execute the lift and then listen to my feedback as I'm walking off the platform. So if the lift moved well, and if I say that the lift moved well, then we will go with a heavier attempt. If I say that, hey, you know what, I'm not really feeling that lift didn't feel too well, then we'll go with the lighter attempt. That's what that means. We're not out here just for clarification of what I meant by put whatever on the bar. And the next attempt was 15 kilos more, so 507 pounds. Yeah, so we did 507, and that moved better than the first one. But when I pulled that, I was like, Mike, you know, I don't care what we do, we can do whatever. So we get in the back, and John's like, what's your PR? So we figured out, because I didn't know off the top, my PR was 242.5 kilos, or 534 pounds. And Mike's like, do you want a PR today? And I said, sure. Like, why not? Let's go for it. The worst that can happen is that it doesn't move and I embarrass myself. He changed it to 245. And I go out there, I don't know kilos, so I don't know how much 245 is, and I like it like that. Get up there and I pull it, and it moved a lot faster. A lot. When I say a lot faster, I mean this 245 flew off the ground, and it was, I'm not gonna say it was easy, it's 540 pounds. So I'm not gonna say it was easy, but it was a lot easier. Like, this was something, if you would have told me in February that in my competition in April, I was gonna pull 540 pounds, I would have been like, no, I'm not. I mean, I can't even do 500 without it feeling like a max attempt. So this means so much to me. You know, 1, to win a national championship, and then 2, to be invited to go to Worlds. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I'm gonna participate, that's what I'm gonna do. I do have some goals in mind, and I'm meeting with my coach tomorrow via video chat to discuss those goals. See, I know 8 weeks isn't a lot of time to make things happen. You know, a lot can change in 8 weeks. Like, I'm happy. No one can take this moment away from me. I don't care who you are. No one can take this away. This is like, not everybody qualifies for Worlds. Not everybody gets an opportunity to go to Worlds. And never in my wildest powerlifting dreams, like when I first started at my first meet, never did I think that, I didn't even think I would qualify for nationals. Now I'm going to a world meet. This is a dream come true. I'm going to Worlds, y'all. I'm going to Worlds to represent Team USA as a 76 kilo weightlifter. Powerlifter, excuse me. Ooh, I messed that up. I'm ready to go. Yeah, I hope this brings new powerlifting opportunities. Someone asked me backstage if I was sponsored by Enzer. I was like, no, not sponsored by anybody. It's been an amazing ride. It's been a crazy, crazy ride so far. And I'm glad that I was able to document most of it and put it out into the world. But yeah, I'm gonna take like the next couple days off. So I'll resume training on Monday. And this will basically be prep for Worlds. So I just gotta make sure everything's on point. Can't afford to overshoot my RBE just because I'm feeling good. You know, I just gotta stay on point, stay in the pocket, you know. But with all of that being said, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Check out the other videos I have on my channel. Feel free to click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and also follow your girl on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.